Is there anything that you worry about? I know that may sound like a silly question because the answer for likely every single one of us is probably the same. Yes, of course. There are a lot of things that can cause us concern in this life. There are a lot of things that fill our minds and our hearts with worry as well. Perhaps you worry about your family, your job, your finances, your health. Each of our lists may have different things on them, but I think we each have lists like that. Lists of the things that cause us to worry. Author Stephen Covey once wrote about these things that cause us worry as all living in our own circles of concern. That's what he called it, circles of concern. But then Covey said that there's a smaller circle inside that circle for each of us. And he called that circle a circle of influence. Well, what does that mean? Well, simply this. It's the things in your circle of concern that you have some influence over. So for example, if you are a student with a big test coming up, that may make you worry. But the test is in your circle of influence. You can do something to help your situation. You can study, and so you should. But once you have taken your test, well, now there is nothing more you can do to influence the grade or to influence the outcome. So, why worry anymore? I think that's good practical advice for us and for our lives. But the Bible gives us even better advice about the things we worry about and can't control. David says this in Psalm 55 and verse 22. He says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." God invites us to cast all of our burdens, all of our worries, all of our concerns onto Him. And then David shares this word of promise about it, that God will sustain you. He will keep you. He will hold you fast. If we can influence or do something about the things that we worry about, well, we should do that as we are able. But there certainly are a whole lot of other things in our lives that make us worry that we can't control, that we can't influence at all. So, are we on our own with those? Are we left to fend for ourselves? Or even worse, are we left to simply worry and hope for the best? No, for we have a God who loves us and sustains us in Jesus Christ. Think about it. If God would send His Son to earth to die, to save you, to redeem you of all of your sins, then God will certainly keep His promise to sustain and keep you through all the worries, through all the concerns that come your way throughout our lives here on earth. So, cast your burdens on the Lord, for He will, and He does, sustain you. I hope you'll join us tomorrow at 5:15 for our last midweek Lenten service of the season, right here at Trinity.